My neighbor Jerry was a petty tyrant obsessed with controlling my life through noise complaints. When he finally forced the city to enforce an absurdly old, specific zoning law against my simple backyard project, I realized the law could be used maliciously. I found a different, even older zoning law that targeted Jerry's massive, illegal sunroom and used it to force the city to tear down his $150,000 renovation. Jerry didn't just move into our suburban neighborhood. He declared war on it. He saw the HOA rules and the city ordinances not as guidelines for community living, but as tools for his personal tyranny. His house was immaculate, his lawn was manicured to within a centimeter, and his tolerance for anything resembling human joy was non-existent. The war started over a fire pit, a simple circular brick structure I was building in my backyard. Jerry marched over, waving his arms like an air traffic controller. 3 feet too close to the property line. The smoke is violating Ordinance 4C2. He was wrong, but his certainty was unnerving. Over the next year, the complaints became a campaign of attrition. It wasn't just me. He terrorized Mrs. Henderson next door, an elderly woman whose wind chimes he called a public nuisance. Got the city to issue her a warning over her garden gnome collection. He was a micro-tyrant, weaponizing bureaucracy against his own neighbors. Against me, the escalation was personal. 17 separate noise complaints. The sound of my dog barking at 1 p.m. The sound of my lawnmower at 10 a.m. The sound of my voice while taking a phone call outside. I was fined twice for trivial nonsense. I realized I wasn't dealing with a neighbor. I was dealing with a stalker with a city ordinance book. The breaking point, the moment the cold realization of revenge solidified, came with the pergola. I decided to build a simple wooden 4-post pergola over my patio. It was meant to be a small sanctuary. Jerry, unable to find a noise violation, went nuclear. He went to the city zoning board and dug up a microscopic ordinance from 1958. Any permanent, unenclosed structure exceeding 80 square feet must be set back 15 feet from the rear boundary. My pergola was 84 square feet, 4 extra feet. That was all it took. The city, tired of Jerry's constant calls, sent the mandatory demolition order immediately. They were happy to appease the squeaky wheel. I was forced to dismantle the beautiful pergola. It took me 2 solid days of physical labor. The entire time, Jerry was sitting on his deck, drinking lemonade, smiling, that smug, cold smile of a man who believes the rules only exist to benefit him. The sheer injustice of tearing down my own legal construction because of 4 feet while my tormentor watched was a deep, burning humiliation. As I was dragging the lumber to the curb, I realized my mistake. I had been fighting Jerry. I should have been fighting the law itself. I knew his sunroom, a giant, glass and vinyl, structure spanning the entire back of his house, was built right on the property line. It was his pride, his fortress. I needed to find a rule so old, so obscure, and so specific that he would be forced to pay the price of his own obsession. I threw myself into the city planning and zoning archives. I took 2 weeks of vacation time, not for rest, but for bureaucratic warfare. I ignored modern codes. They were too flexible. I hunted for the forgotten, the ignored, the legally dusty. I searched for terms like non-conforming structures, retroactive compliance, pre-1970 modification clauses, and material substitution. Liabilities. I was essentially mapping the legal archaeological record of our entire neighborhood. The breakthrough came at 3 a.m. on a Friday, deep in a microfiche file. I found it. Ordinance 22A, subsection 3, 1947. This law governs structures built before 1970 that were subsequently significantly modified after 1990. The law was a hammer. It mandated that any such modification immediately eliminated their grandfathered status, forcing them to comply with all current setback